Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. It is always a pleasure to have you. We had a good break and we are back. We are back for a new season of the Greatness Engineering show. I'm back as well. I'm your greatness engineer, Mireille, all the way from Perth, Australia, Mireille Tulekima. And we are here to bring you champion, to bring you people who are going to inspire you and people who are going to help you to get, all the tips and strategies to be able to go to the next level of your greatness. So today we are going to the US and we're having an amazing guest, and I will make sure that you enjoy this conversation. My guest today is Dr. Robin Bell, and we're going to talk about a very interesting, subject: reentry of and recidivism of for men and women coming home from prison. So, just to give you a little bit of background about Dr. Robin Bell, she is actually she created a company called Air4, and the Air Force is actually, helping prisoners that have been, incarcerated to get back on track and assist them, to come home and so for them to really integrate back into society. And she's a retiree Army official, and she's also a published author. And the most important thing today is that she's been actually, featured into She Exists magazine, and She Exists has been, a partner for the show for now 5 years, and we are happy to have Dr. Bell with us today. So come in, let us know where you're watching from, if you're watching live, and don't hesitate to ask any question. This show is for you. This show is for, for you to get all the information and to get inspired for your success. And hopefully, you can also share what you're going to learn today. It's not like in Las Vegas where everything that we're talking about stays here. Everything that we're talking about should go out. And I hope you're going to enjoy. So let's bring Dr. Robin Bell right now, and we'll start the show and have a great conversation. Another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show that is brought to you by the Mireille Tulekima Global Leadership Organization.
Real is important is if you just look at the word compassion, when it's behavior, it's something that can be learned, and it is something that we can embody through habits and through our daily actions.
To get this idea that if we interject this wisdom intentionally, I call them needle movers. It's the needle mover that's missing.
Don't deprive the world of your greatness. Please. Don't do that anymore. Dare to excel, dare to be sexy, dare to be you, dare to be the best version of yourself. Impact yourself positively, and from there impact others, and you are not alone.
So welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show, Dr. Robin Bell, and I'm going to call you Robin during this conversation.
Thank
It
you.
is a pleasure to have you, and a pleasure to listen and understand what's going on, in your professional life, but also everything that is happening, everything that is really exciting here, especially around, your feature in the She Exists magazine. But before we reach this stage, I just want you to add to what I've shared with the, with the audience, to introduce yourself and let us know who you are and what you're passionate about.
Yes, ma'am. Marie, thank you so much for having me. It is an absolute honor. And from your amazing introduction, I am retired military. I always start off with that because it's such an honor to have served honorably for 20 years in the Army. I am the CEO of Bell Consulting Group, which is a human relations consulting firm. I'm the founder of R4 Rehabilitation, Reform, and Reentry Resources, and we assist returning citizens, men and women coming home from prison. I'm a published author, and I am also a professor at American University where I teach Intro to Criminology. So that's a little bit about myself.
Okay, all right. So that's a lot, and really I commend, all that you are doing. And we're really gonna discover how you manage, how you handle all of this, so far, because that's quite huge. And today we're gonna talk about what you're doing with men and women coming home from prison. And it is, one of the key, key things that we really, that is still a taboo, I think, because people don't really talk about, people who have been incarcerated. How do we bring them back, on track and integrated in society? So one of the things that I really want to know is what actually led you to really focus on that aspect of, empowerment, basically.
What really led me is while I was in the military, my last 5 years, I was with the Army Corps of Engineers. The Army Corps of Engineers had the highest discrimination rates of any organization in Department of Defense. So my three-star general said, Master Sergeant Bell, I want you to go everywhere that the Corps of Engineer has people, which is all over the world, and facilitate classes on treating others with dignity and respect. So when
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't traveling the world, I really didn't have a lot of work to do back in DC. So I went to the Justice Center of Atlanta and I got certified as a mediator. I came back to DC, went to the Superior Court and got certified as a mediator. So while I was sitting waiting on cases all day, I saw so many men of color, young men, coming through the system with low-level drug offenses, and they were usually with their mother, their grandmother, a court-appointed attorney, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I would see white males come through, and they were with their both parents, high-powered attorneys, and it was such disparity in the sentencing guidelines. I said, once I retire, I'm going back to school and I'm going to get my doctorate and just this population. So I did. I went back to school. My dissertation was on shared experiences of nonviolent Black males with drug
Mm-hmm.
addictions who recidivate. So that
Mm-hmm.
started this whole thing with wanting to help those that most consider the lost, last, and least desirable.
I can actually, I can imagine, must have been a challenge for you. So, really, what I want to know is what are the challenge that you encounter, and how did you actually, manage, and how did you uh, come, this, reach this level of, of support? Because I think it must be you must be making a difference in that, in the on that. Regard for, especially for the Black male, who are actually, the highest population in, I understand,
You're right.
in the prison system in America. So, what are the challenges? What are the tools that you've actually used, or the support that you've got to be able to survive and be able to create value, through your work?
The most challenge that I have, believe it or not, are the returning citizens themselves.
Ooh.
They have got to want the help. And I always say the rehabilitation starts on the inside, not
Mm-hmm.
only inside of the prison walls, but inside of the minds of those who want to change. So the biggest struggle is once these men come home, and we work with women as well, but once
Mm-hmm.
these men and women come home, they have got to want the help. And I work with DC Department of Corrections on, it was a pilot program. And with this program, we started out with 3 juvenile lifers. They were men that were sent to prison as juveniles. They were sentenced to anywhere from 60 years to life.
Wow.
And absolutely. And DC received a grant. And with this grant, we paid their salary to any employer that would hire them. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't only the workforce part. Bell Consulting Group, my team, we brought these men in and we taught them computer literacy, digital literacy. We signed them up for bank accounts. We showed them how to ride the metro. We showed them how to shop for clothes, interview skills, just everything that they would need to be successful law abiding citizens. And the program was very, very successful. But as the years went on, we started this program in 2021. As the
Mm-hmm.
years went on, with Bell Consulting Group running the program, we found that there were more young people that were in and out of prison, and they
Mm-hmm.
were not as apt to do better. And so
Mm-hmm.
we learned that those that were in for a very long time, they wanted to do better. They wanted to be better. But those who weren't ready, who were in and out of prison every 2 or 3 years, those were the ones that were most difficult to work with. So
Mm-hmm.
you have got to want it for yourself. So that
Mm-hmm.
was the biggest challenge. But I call myself the returning citizen whisperer. So if
Mm-hmm.
I can't get them to do right, then they're just not ready. So the biggest challenge is whether they are ready or not.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that's a big challenge, because how do you know that they are ready? Because some people will tell you I'm ready, and and you don't really know until you try. They actually try the program, and which comes to me asking you, how do you make the selection? Because obviously you have to select a certain number. So what are the criteria that you go through to select the right people to go through your program, and with the expectation that they're going to actually complete the program and change their life?
Well, that program actually it was the lead out. That was once they got out of prison. But the
Mm-hmm.
program actually started inside of DC jail, and it was
Mm-hmm.
called the lead up. So they would work with the men and women in there to determine if they would be a good fit. There was an age criteria. You couldn't be over the age of 55.
Mm-hmm.
Certain crimes that we would not accept into the program. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's how we would start. And then my team would do a fact sheet. We would find out, if they were married, how many times they had been incarcerated, what were they incarcerated for, their education level, and things of that nature. And once they came to the classroom, honestly, Marae, it did not take long to find out if they were ready or not, if they
Mm-hmm.
were on time, if they paid attention, if they asked questions. You could just tell those who were ready and those who weren't. I was wrong one time. One time
Mm-hmm.
I told this little guy, I said, "You are not ready. I don't think you'll make it." And he ended up being very ready. He wanted to prove me wrong. And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he was quite successful. And even, with the guys that we work with and ladies in that program, there is not a week that goes past. Those that were successful, we had a 2 to 3% recidivism rate. Very, very
Mhm.
successful
Wow.
program. I keep in touch with those guys, inclusively women as well. They text me, they call me, they email and say, Dr. Bell, without your program, without the help of your team, without you caring, I would have never made it. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Wow,
how I know.
that's amazing. That's really amazing. 1 to 2% only failure. It's really a good, a good score, I would say. So we're gonna have a small break just to watch one of your little video to see, have a snap of what you do and how some of your participants actually receive the program and what they
Okay,
think about it, and then we'll be back for to continue this conversation. So
okay,
for the audience, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in few minutes.
thank you.
When I first came home, I didn't have anything.
When I was released, I felt less than. With this organization, I was actually given the opportunity to be successful.
There has been encouragement every step of the way to do better and be better. Dr. Bell is always coming up with ways for us to experience new things.
Field trips to the Pentagon, the 9/11 Memorial.
Lunch at a nice restaurant, shopping for nice clothes. This organization makes me feel like there's nothing I can't do.
Dr. Bell is a true believer in second chances.
If there were more people like Dr. Bell, there would be a lot less people going back to jail.
Hi, my name is Rico Taylor, and I have a story to tell. I am able to tell my story because of the nonprofit R4. I am a returning citizen and was incarcerated for 18 years. I was petrified of being released because I was being released as homeless, indigent, and with cancer. I had nowhere to go and no one to turn to. One day in the chapel, I was given a brochure and told that R4 may be able to help me. Their act of kindness has changed my life forever. They gave me hope when I had not had hope in 18 years. R4 ensured that I had clothes to put on my back, food to eat, and some place to live. This organization restored my faith. I will forever be grateful for them allowing me to live, because until now, I was only existing.
That's touching and fantastic to see. I'm actually quite sensitive about it. So so I want to ask you, I mean, obviously you're giving, your organization is helping, is giving. So what do you gain from that? Because, it might not be material gain, but for you, what is the added value, and what would you say is the competitive advantage of your program? Because I imagine there's probably, few program around. So what do you think makes this program and your company successful in changing the life of, the returning, men and women who are incarcerated?
I think what makes R4 stand out from others is because we do what we say we're going to do. I just, I am a firm believer that we all are put here on earth to do God's work, to help those who are less fortunate. And so that's the satisfaction that I get out of it, knowing that I'm making a difference in the lives of those that are less fortunate. My whole team, my husband and I, we handpicked our team, and we do have a lot of American University students who are passionate about this, who really care. So we have a team of people that really care and want to make a difference. So that's what sets us apart from everyone else. And DC does more for their returning citizens than anyone
Mhm.
else in the US. And that may be because DC is so small. But if
Mhm.
you are a returning citizen, and you come back to DC, if you don't make it, it's because you don't want to make it. But my team, we take pride in the work that we do because we truly, truly care about this population. And to see someone succeed, to see, to get the emails, the phone calls, the texts, and just the program was over last year and we're now doing it in Virginia. It just makes us feel good to know that we do make a difference. And
Mhm.
yeah.
And it's really important what you say, because most of those people who actually get incarcerated is we find out it's because they've been overlooked. Nobody cares about them, so they get involved in very dangerous or very criminal activities.
Mhm.
And the fact that there is an organization that's yours will actually show them that they matter, and they have opportunities, even if they are not perfect. It actually makes a difference in their life. And one of the things, because you're also a professor in university, so how do you think the education system can actually help and prevent um, I mean, you help to reduce the number of people, especially black male, to get incarcerated and get involved in criminal activities.
Well, at American University, so I answer this in two parts. At American University, like I said, I teach Intro to Criminology. And last semester, I had my students, majority white students at American University or international. And I'm telling you, Murray, they are so interested, invested in this population. It's unbelievable how they're not judgmental and they want to make a difference. So last semester, I had my class do the entire semester. They did documentaries on juvenile lifers. I brought in the juvenile lifers, and the students did documentaries on them. And there is not a class that I don't have at least 5 or 6 students to say, what can I do to help? Let me
Mhm.
volunteer. And so we have so many volunteers, and they do, yet this generation or that generation, they want to see a change. They want things to be better and people to do better. And the juvenile lifers. So one of the questions one of the comments you made about how they weren't brought up properly or didn't have the support that they needed. One of my juvenile lifers, he got his first felony at 7 years old.
Wow.
At 7 years old, he did not his he didn't have his mother in his life. He was abused by his siblings. He grew up in DC during the crack epidemic. And when he went to prison, everyone in DC that goes to prison, they go to the feds. And so
Mhm.
the feds give you time in months, not years. And I think he got like 700 months. And he said that it took him 10 years to realize that he had life in prison. It
Mm.
because he went to prison with a third grade education. So
Mhm.
he came out to be one of our most successful participants in the program. So, like you
Wow.
said, when they know that there's someone who has their back, someone who genuinely cares, we help with first month's rent, security deposit, once they're out. We assist children who are impacted by incarceration. When families have to go visit, because normally the person that's incarcerated, they were the breadwinner in the family. So
Mhm.
families want to go visit their loved ones who are supposed to be within 500 nautical miles, which isn't true. They can send them anywhere in the U.S. they want to. We help provide gas, hotel rooms, food. We provide backpacks for the children going back to school. We provide Thanksgiving dinners, just the big box with the turkeys and the meals. We do toys and gifts, for children. who are impacted by incarceration. And I'll get to the other part when we get to the advertisement. But yeah, as long as they know that there's someone who has their back and someone who truly cares, and that's
Yeah.
my team and I.
Fantastic. So it is, I think it is an amazing, an amazing way of empowering, especially the less empowered, because, they might look like, they have a big ego, but they're basically, suffering inside.
Absolutely.
And it's important to bring back this, this connection, with them, with reality, and with love, because I think that's really the common factor, to really bring love, for them to understand that they can actually be loved, and they can also give love, because I think that's sometimes what's missing. So we're gonna have a break, and then we come back and talk a little bit about how you end up into being featured in She Exists, and what was the experience, and really what you feel about it. So don't go anywhere. We will be back for to continue this conversation, and talk about the more fun and really when I say VIP part of of your life. So don't go anywhere. We will be back in a few minutes.
All right.
My name is Kasia Trepanier. I'm from Hammond, Louisiana, which is about 30 minutes outside of New Orleans.
Our end thing is love, community, and never forget about the people that paved the way.
Art is the only medium to help us understand that there is a lot more to life than fight.
Whatever you do in your personal life trickles into your business life. And a lot of times people fail in business because they have not succeeded in life.
I want to be able to be contributing, one of those guys that really are doing significant work to better the lives of people.
Every change is linked to a consciousness raising, and change is conscious. And if you want to change something in your life, start with your breathing. Start to work on your breathing.
Leave something for people to learn from. Make a video, write a book, teach, go around, teach the younger generation or the next generation to help them become or follow the path that you've been.
This a reminder. This a reminder.
What's up, hot? You do that? I'm built this. We never. Don't stress, regret, but it's not sad. Hurt to the feminine one. Oh! Hurt to the feminine one. Oh!
This a reminder.
Words that you say.
This a reminder.
Love what they make.
So we are back. We are back with Robin, and as you could see, that was an add-on. She exists. That was the last edition, but there's a new one where Robin is actually featured, and just wanted to know exactly how she ended up there, and what is the message, and everything. How you feel about it?
How do I feel about it? Oh,
Exactly.
okay, Marae. This was a new experience for me. I've never, did a photo shoot. I, don't really wear makeup and all of that. But the entire experience from meeting Janelle, who is such a tremendous soul. She is an amazing person, and I'm grateful that now we are part of each other's lives. But to be in the magazine and to be able to tell my story, Ed, he interviewed me, and then when I saw the write-up, I was like, wow. I mean, he did that really well. The photographer, Lance, Janelle, just the time that she took with me. So it was an experience that I will never, ever forget. I'm very grateful for it. I'm very proud of it. I'm proud of me. I did something that I'd never done before, never thought I could do. So that's a takeaway. Never, ever stop dreaming. Everything is possible.
Exactly. Never, never stop dreaming. And I think it's a good message that you're gonna bring to the men and women that you are working with so far, and also to the the ex people who've been incarcerated, to bring this message of hope, and and make them dream, because I think that's sometimes what's missing. They stop dreaming, they stop believing in themselves, they stop trusting people, and it's a good it's a good way to go back to them and help them to really recover those positive feelings. So just wanted to ask you, I mean, as we getting close to the end, is what do you think is the message that we should live with, as far as this conversation is concerned, rehabilitating, ex, incarcerated men and women. So what do you think people like me or people in the audience need to hear and need to be aware of, so that they can, help as well? Because I think the challenge is sometimes you have the organizations, but the real world is something else. So how do they react to it, and how do they make things easier for organization like yours?
Well, I think it's something, I believe that so many people take on this mission without really having the heart. It's just a job or whatever. But I am a firm believer that you treat people the way that you want to be treated. And like I said earlier, we are all put here to do God's work. And as long as you treat people right and do the right thing by everyone, you will never lose God's favor. And I am a firm believer in that. I put God in everything. So to be able, to treat people right, yeah, that's all you have to do, and just never ever stop dreaming. People ask me sometimes, I come from a very small town in southwestern Virginia. I was a teenage mom, and people say, did you ever think that you would be a doctor? And I said, I didn't think I wouldn't be. So never ever give up. Never, just fight for what you believe in and make a difference in this world, because you only have
Exactly. We only have one life. And, what do you want people to believe in yourself if you don't believe in yourself first, And that's the important message to bring out there in everything in life. It starts with us. And then we create the right energy to make sure that people support us. to go forward and to go, like I always say, here on this platform, to go to the next level of our greatness. So thank you, Robin. I'll have another ad, and then you can let us know, what's next. Obviously you've done already. You're doing so much, and I can imagine that you've changed a lot of people's lives. So it's about what's next for you and what's next for the organization. So we'll be back for for the last part of the show. But let's just have a quick ad on a project that I love and that we've been pushing right now, which is going to make a difference in girls' life all over the world, especially the developing world. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back later.
Vanakkam. This is Dr. Shrivati Kesin, founder CEO Space Kids India. Shakti Sat. Yes, the mission to the moon. We intend building a satellite and putting it in lunar orbit with an all-girls team globally. Yes, you heard it right. 10,800 children globally will be handpicked, and then subsequently 108 children will be building this satellite. Women leaders from across the globe, if you want to be a part of this historic mission, come join us. Be a bridge between Team Shakti Sat and your country. Join as babies, because we believe world is one. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. One earth, one home. Give power to the girls.
Amazing project. I myself, one of the ambassadors, actually started it with Dr. Srimati. We talked about it, and it's happening. We already have more than 100, ambassadors, and we are now doing the selection to select girls in regional, in the regional part of most of the developing countries to build a satellite that they'll be launching in India with the Indian Space Agency next year. So really, really happy and proud of, what we're doing today. But, over to you. So what's next? What's next for you? Is there anything happening that we should be aware of? And really understand, where you're heading with not only your project, but, also personally, what is the legacy that you want to leave?
Well, the legacy that I want to leave is that I made a difference in someone's life who, like I said, most considered the lost, last, and least desirable. And that's the legacy that I want to leave. But one of the things that I'm working on now with DC are women coming home from incarceration. And so we are working on opening up a home in DC for women that's coming, because they need a little more than men. So I'm very excited about that, because women have a higher recidivism rate than men because of the things that they need. So I'm excited about that. And the nonprofit, we are having our 4th annual charity golf tournament, and that's going to be September the 13th at Oak Creek Golf Course in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. And with the funds from the golf course, from the golf tournament, a part of the proceeds, we're going to do 4 $10,000 scholarships for children, college-bound seniors who are impacted by incarceration. And we do that every year, and each year we try to give more. So this year we're going to do 4 $10,000 scholarships for college-bound seniors who are impacted by incarceration. So that's what we have coming up next.
Fantastic. There's, amazing things coming. And how do people connect with you if they want to have more information about what you're doing?
Well, my email, what do we need? Email, well, you can go to my website and there is a contact page on that. So can I just say my website?
Yes, you can give your website, and then people can just go to the website and check what's there.
Okay, so the website is www.r4, the letter 4, r4resources.org. So www.r4resources.org. That's it.
Okay, that's it. And so just go and check, what's being done, and just contact Robin if you want to have more information about what she's doing, but also if you want to participate and help, because I think this particular topic is touching all of us. I think we probably all know someone who is incarcerated, either a friend, or someone that linked to someone that we know. So we are part of we are part of the solution as well. So it is important that we get involved. So thank you very much, Robin, for your time and for such an insightful conversation. It has been amazing to just know and see the passion, because that's really what I get from when I hear you talk about what you're doing, and with love and passion. It's just reconforting to know that you gonna make a difference if you are really feeling that way. So that's all for us today here. Do you want to leave a special message, or do you think that we're done today? We still have 1 or 2 minutes if you still have something to share with the audience.
I just want to say thank you so much for having me and allowing me to talk about the work that R4 does, the platform that you have allowed me to share this with so many people. I truly appreciate it. I'm super excited. I feel famous. Thank you, Murray, and from being on your show. So thank you. And everybody, just never stop dreaming. Never, ever. All things are possible.
Never stop dreaming. All things are possible. This is powerful. So thank you for being with us today. And for those who are going to watch the replay, please let us know if you have any question, any insight. I will make sure to let Robin know. And please, share this video, share with your friend, share with your families, share with anybody. We want this world and the work of Robin to be known all over the world and globally. So make sure it happens. And so we will be back for another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour next week. And next week we'll be going to Spain, and it's going to be again a very interesting conversation. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on social media. We have our YouTube channel, the Mireille Lekima YouTube channel, where you can watch all the shows that that we've done so far the last 5 years, and also interact with us. If you want to be on the show, you can always contact me. These are my details here. You can either connect with me, either send me an email, or look at my website, or connect on LinkedIn and Facebook, which are the social media where you will see more of me, and also Twitter and Instagram if you also there as well. So that's all for today, and you all remain blessed, and I see you next week. And
Thank
thanks
you,
again,
Marae.
Robin, for your time and for your insight today.
Thank you.